Welcome back to r/relationships, where people share their real-life struggles, heartbreaks, and sometimes shocking moments. Today's story is about betrayal, fear, and a terrifying moment that no one expects in a relationship, when the person you trust most turns their back on you in your darkest hour. I'm OP, a 27-year-old woman, and I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. We usually have a good relationship. Steady, mostly happy, nothing dramatic. But last weekend, everything changed in a way I never saw coming. We decided to go hiking together. It was supposed to be a peaceful escape, just the two of us, out in nature, away from the city noise and our busy lives. The trail we chose was remote, a little rough, but beautiful. Tall trees, fresh air, birds chirping. I felt relaxed, looking forward to some quality time. But as we walked deeper into the woods, a strange feeling crept over me. The silence wasn't natural anymore, and the peacefulness started to feel eerie. I brushed it off at first, telling myself I was just being paranoid. Then, suddenly, it happened. A moment that flipped everything upside down. This story isn't just about a wild animal attack. It's about how fear changes people, and what happens when the person you expect to protect you runs away. I'm still trying to process it, and I hope sharing it here helps me make sense of what happened. We were about an hour into our hike when I first heard something rustling in the bushes ahead. At first, I thought it was just a squirrel or maybe a deer. But then, out of nowhere, a dog appeared. It wasn't just any dog. This one was terrifying. Its fur was patchy and dirty, its eyes wild and glassy. It was foaming at the mouth, saliva dripping down as it growled low and menacingly. The way it moved was jerky, unnatural. I immediately knew something was wrong. This dog was sick, rabid. My heart started pounding so fast I thought it would burst out of my chest. I froze, completely caught off guard. My mind raced. Should I run? Should I scream? Should I stand still? I looked around, hoping to find a way out, but the trail was narrow, with thick trees on either side. I glanced at my boyfriend, desperate for some kind of reaction, some sign he'd protect me. But his face was blank. His eyes darted nervously, and then he took a step back. Then another. And then, before I could even say anything, he turned and ran. I couldn't believe it. He left me there, alone, with that crazed dog snarling just a few feet away. Panic took over. My breath caught in my throat as I realized I was completely on my own. The dog took a few steps closer, its teeth bared. I tried calling out to my boyfriend, but he was already too far. I scrambled back, trying to put distance between me and the dog, but it didn't slow down. The fear was paralyzing. I felt like I was trapped in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. The dog lunged at me before I could react. I tried to dodge, but it was too fast. Its teeth sank into my arm and then my leg, sharp pain exploding everywhere. I screamed, tears streaming down my face. Desperately, I looked for something to defend myself with, but there was nothing. The dog wasn't letting go. I tried to climb a nearby tree, but my shaking hands made me slip, and I tumbled to the ground, scraping my knees and elbows. The dog was relentless, growling and biting, its hot breath on my skin. I felt completely helpless. Then, out of nowhere, a group of hikers appeared. They shouted, threw sticks, anything to scare the dog away. Finally, the dog backed off, snarling but retreating into the woods. I collapsed, shaking and bleeding, my whole body aching. Someone called an ambulance. At the hospital, doctors cleaned my wounds and started the rabies vaccination right away. The shots hurt almost as much as the bites, but I knew they were necessary. Emotionally, I was a mess. The physical pain was one thing, but the feeling of abandonment cut even deeper. How could he just run away? I kept replaying that moment in my head, trying to understand it. The doctors told me I was lucky to get help quickly. Rabies is almost always fatal without immediate treatment. Now, every time I look at the scars on my arm, I remember not just the dog, but the moment I realized the person I loved might not be the one I can count on when it matters most. Once I was physically better and the hospital visits slowed down, I knew I had to talk to my boyfriend. The silence between us was unbearable, heavier than any pain from my wounds. One evening, I sat him down, my voice shaky but firm. "Why did you run?" I asked, trying to keep calm. He looked down, shame written all over his face. "I panicked," he finally admitted. "I'm scared of blood, and I just froze. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to get hurt." Hearing that hurt me in ways I couldn't explain. Part of me wanted to understand, to forgive. But another part was screaming betrayal. How could the person I trusted most turn his back when I needed him the most? My mind was spinning. Anger, confusion, sadness all mixed together. I kept asking myself, was this fear something I could accept? Or was it a sign of something deeper, that he might not be the partner I thought he was? I wanted answers, but the more he explained, the more uncertain I became. I wanted to believe he truly didn't mean to abandon me, but the image of him running away haunted me. It wasn't just about the attack. It was about the silence that followed, the feeling of being left completely alone. Could I forgive this? Could I rebuild trust? Or was this the moment my relationship cracked for good? Every time I looked at him, I saw not just the boyfriend I loved, but the man who ran. The question now wasn't just about survival in the woods. It was about whether our love could survive this. As I sat alone that night, my mind drifted back over the years we'd spent together. We met in college, awkward and shy, slowly building something real. He was kind, patient, and often my biggest supporter during tough times. There were moments filled with laughter, late-night talks, quiet dinners, vacations where nothing else mattered but us. I pictured our future, maybe a house, trips abroad, someday a family. But that future now felt fragile, like it was built on sand. The thought that he could run away when I needed him most clashed painfully with all the trust I had placed in him. I remembered how he'd comforted me during my darkest days, how we promised to face life's challenges together. And now, I wasn't sure if that promise still held meaning or if it was just words. The more I thought about it, the more I realized something had shifted. That hike, the attack, and his reaction revealed cracks I hadn't seen before. It wasn't just about fear. It was about whether he was truly the partner I thought I knew. Was I holding on to memories because I wanted to believe in him? Or was I ignoring a red flag that could no longer be overlooked? It was hard to reconcile the good times with this new reality. The love I felt seemed tangled with doubt and pain, and I didn't know how to untangle it yet. I decided to share my story here on r/relationships, hoping for some clarity from people who had been through tough times themselves. The responses were mixed, just like I expected. Some people were kind and understanding, telling me everyone panics sometimes. They encouraged me to give my boyfriend a chance, reminding me that no one is perfect and fear can make us do unexpected things. "It sounds like he genuinely didn't mean to abandon you," one commenter wrote. "If he's willing to talk and work through it, maybe forgiveness is possible." Others weren't so forgiving. They called out my boyfriend for his lack of courage and questioned if he really loved me at all. "You deserve someone who will protect you, not run away," another user bluntly said. That kind of reaction shows a serious problem in the relationship. A few comments added a bit of humor to lighten the mood, like joking about how not everyone is cut out to be an action hero, or that some people would run from a squirrel, let alone a rabid dog. It made me smile amid all the tension. Reading through the advice, I felt pulled in every direction. The supportive voices gave me hope that maybe love could survive this. The critical ones reminded me of the seriousness of what happened and what it meant for my future. Ultimately, I'm still torn. I want to forgive, but I also want respect and security. How do you balance fear and love when the person you depend on betrays you in your moment of need? It's a question I don't have the answer to yet, but I'm grateful for this community helping me see different sides. Maybe sharing my story here is the first step toward figuring it out. This experience made me think a lot about what trust really means in a relationship. Trust isn't just about honesty or promises. It's about knowing your partner will stand by you when things get scary or hard. When danger shows up, that's when true colors come out. Fear is a powerful thing. Everyone reacts differently under pressure, and I get that. But even when fear takes over, there's a responsibility to face it, for your partner, for yourself, for your future together. Running away might be a natural instinct, but it leaves wounds far deeper than the physical kind. This situation forced me to ask myself tough questions about compatibility. Can love survive when the person you count on isn't there in your worst moment? Are fear and panic enough reasons to break down a relationship? Or is forgiveness and understanding stronger than those fears? I also realized that relationships need more than just love to survive. They need courage, accountability, and sometimes hard conversations about what each person expects and needs. It's not enough to just want to be together. Both people have to be willing to face challenges as a team. At the end of the day, I know that this experience changed me. It forced me to reevaluate not just my boyfriend, but what I want and deserve from any partner. Trust, once broken, is not easily repaired, and sometimes love means making the hardest choices. Whether this relationship can heal or not, I hope my story reminds others that love is complicated and sometimes painful. But it's also an opportunity to grow, learn, and decide what kind of life you want to build, alone or with someone else. Right now, I'm still sorting through my feelings, unsure if I can forgive or if this is the end. I know I need time, but I also want to hear from others who have faced moments like this. Have you been abandoned in a crisis? Did you forgive, or did it break your relationship? Please share your thoughts and stories below. I'm listening, and if you want more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe or follow for new episodes every week. Thanks for being here with me.